What's up guys, duarktikhq with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to talk about everything related with Dr. Voodoo. We are going to take a look at his T4s, ISO weight, team positioning, best teams where you can use him, and the best game modes where he's going to be useful, including Blitz, Arena, Dark Dimension, Scourge events, Avengers Towers, and so on. So if you like the information on this video, like always, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button. So let's get started and let's take a look at the Dr. Voodoo T4s. Okay, so let's get started. Dr. Voodoo is a hero global support mystic, Dark Hunter, and Spirit Slayer. Spirit Slayer is the tag for the event where we'll be able to obtain shards for him. Dark Hunter is his team and it's mostly used on Alliance Wars. Then we have Mystic, Support, Global, and Hero. So good stuff. So let's take a look at his stats just to have an idea where this guy is sitting. Very nice amount of HP, 545,000. We have 32,000 damage, which is not great. Then we have a nice amount of armor, around 24,000. The focus is 13,000, and this is a problem outside of his team. On his own team, Ghost Rider is going to give him more focus, but outside of this team, outside of his team, the focus will be quite low. Then we have 14,000 resistance, and that's very nice as well. And then we have 120 speed. He doesn't have any additional dodge, crit, or block amount. So let's take a look at the T4s, and with the basic attack, we have that we are increasing the damage on single target damage, and we're also increasing the healing that we do to himself and the Dark Hunter allies. Now this is going to be a nice amount of sustain. 3% is not huge if he is by himself, but if you are together with the team, it's going to be pretty nice. Now, is this something very common? Probably not. You are probably going to use this character mostly on Alliance Wars offense 3 times per week, so it might not be super relevant to do this T4, especially because you are going to be more busy doing the other abilities, the ultimate and the special, because you get additional energy in Alliance Wars. So this is not a super useful T4. It's kind of a niche, very specific situations where you can take advantage of this. Now let's take a look at his special. 3 energy, comes full, applies defense down to the targets, and when you do the T4, you also apply ability block to the primary target. Now this T4 is just huge. Applying ability block is a completely amazing ability, and it's becoming more and more important when we have other game modes like Avengers Tower and Dark Dimension and the Scourge events that we have coming soon. He also gives more barrier to Dark Hunter allies and to non-Dark Hunter allies adjacent to him. So Dark Hunter allies will get 30% of this guy's max health, which we just saw, it's a pretty nice amount of health. And the non-Dark Hunter allies will go from 15% to 20%. So I think this is very useful. It's going to be definitely great for Alliance Wars. It's definitely going to be great for Avengers Tower, Dark Dimension, and so on. Very good T4 indeed, not only for the ability block but also for the barrier. So this one is definitely a must-have. Now in terms of the ultimate, and this ability is controversial. Some people think it's like the best ability ever, other people like me think this ability is trash. Back in the day when Dark Dimension 2 was a thing, stealing health from the enemies was very important because we had very little amount of damage and the enemies had a huge amount of health. So stealing this, it would be extremely useful. Right now in terms of Dark Dimension, it's not the case, since Dark Dimension 3, 4 and 5, the enemies don't have that much health, so stealing 10% of health from the enemies is not going to be super important. Now, this effect, it bypasses, it ignores death proof, so you can finish off someone with this. So, for example, if you are facing Dr. Octopus, this can be a good finishing move to make sure that Dr. Octopus does not heal himself because you are stealing the health. So it's not a super important T4. He heals mostly the Dark Hunter allies and himself, and it bypasses heal block. That's nice, but it's super restrictive in terms of how useful it is. And because of that, I think this is a very niche T4 that you can definitely skip. Finally, we have the passive, and the passive increases the crit chance of your allies if all enemies have speed up. Now, it does not restrict to Dark Hunter allies, so this can be very useful. The problem of this ability is that facing situations where the enemies have speed up all the time is not very common. There are a few nodes on Dark Dimension 5 where this is the case, the second node on the global lane, but it's still something that it's not very common. It's mostly going to be used on Alliance Wars, but it might be the case that this ability will become more important in the future with in specific stages or of Avengers Tower or on the Scourge events, because you can change the benefits the enemies have, and one of those benefits might be giving speed up to all the enemies. And then we also have the Cosmic Crucible, the Cosmic Arena. And on the Cosmic Arena, it might also be the situation where you are facing enemies that start with speed up on spawn, or that have Black Widows to give speed up for everyone. So this ability might not be super useful right now, but it will be more important in the future. It also gets additional death proofs whenever this character drops below 50% health. Once again, that's another very niche situation that you can somewhat manipulate around it, but it's not going to be super easy to do it. So yeah, it's a okay T4, but I think the benefits of this T4 will come later on when you have other game modes. So yeah, those are the T4s for the Dr. Voodoo. In terms of ISO weight, as we just saw, Skirmisher is going to be very important for him, especially outside of his team, because he doesn't get this additional focus from Ghost Rider. Other ISO weights that you could consider, Fortifier to give him additional barrier, and also the minor defense sub for more survivability and mitigation. Or you could consider him as a healer, because he becomes so fast thanks to this nice amount of health. Not only his basic is going to heal by quite a lot, but whenever he has a turn, he's also going to provide minor healing and regens to your team. But like I said, my priority is going to be Skirmisher, with healer and Fortifier as second good options. Okay, so now let's talk about in which game modes this guy is going to be useful in. Okay, so in terms of game modes where Dr. Voodoo is going to be important in, and we are also going to talk about good combinations of characters that you can use this guy in. So in Blitz, he's going to have some flexibility. He's going to be pretty decent there together with the Dark Hunters or with the Supernatural, but also with other Mystic allies like Deathpool or Cloak and Dagger. Those two characters, especially Deathpool, can use his ability block and defense down to spread it around and make the fights more easy. So you can make some good hybrid teams in terms of Blitz for this guy. Definitely a very solid character for Blitz. In terms of Arena right now, not the case. The Eternals completely dominate the meta and they are not affected by ability blocks. So the best ability of Dr. Voodoo is not going to be helpful there. In terms of raids, New Warriors and Eternals also dominate the raids there, so it's not going to be useful there. In terms of Alliance Wars, we already know it's going to be part of one of the best counters against the Heroes for Hire, Web Warriors and also Young Avengers. So definitely a solid character for Alliance Wars, but like always, remember that Alliance Wars is only 3 times per week. In terms of other game modes, Dark Dimension, Cosmic Crucible, Cosmic Arena, whatever you want to call it, and also the new Scourge events, which is similar to Dark Dimension, but is specific for certain teams. This guy, for Scourge events first is going to be quite great. Is part of the 2 teams that will be required, Web Warriors and the Dark Hunters. And because he provides so much utility in terms of barrier, in terms of healing, ability block, defense downs and so on, is definitely going to be great for the Scourge events. In terms of Cosmic Arena, I think he's going to be very good as well because he's a flexible character. The same way we can use him in mixed match teams like in Blitz. We can also use him on Cosmic Arena, RTA and all that good stuff where we already know which enemies we are facing and we can use his own abilities to our advantage. In terms of Dark Dimension, not the most useful character, especially because he uses Mystic Gear and we already have so many characters with Mystic Gear. But what I'm gonna tell you is that consider not using Icarus on your first run and instead using Dr. Voodoo. He is cheaper than Icarus and he provides a lot of utility for the global nodes where you are definitely going to require his ability block to make your journey a lot more easy. So yeah, overall in all these game modes he's going to provide mostly utility and make the fights easier and make your enemies and make your allies be able to take advantage of his defense down, ability block and also the additional barrier. So yeah guys, that's going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed everything about Dr. Voodoo, the best T4s, ISO 8, team positioning. Team positioning I think I didn't mention. Because he has high amount of health and armor, you should, and because also he gives barrier to adjacent allies to him, always keep him on the position 2, 3 or 4. So it means somewhat in the middle, never in the corners. Okay, so now that we talk about everything about Dr. Voodoo, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And like always, you can find this information early on my Discord. As you can see, we have the T4 recommendations, the gear requirements, the ISO 8 and how good is going to be on the most common game modes. And we also talk about future game modes like Scourge events, the Cosmic Arena and Avengers Tower and all those game modes that are coming in the future. So if you guys want to check out this information early on, make sure you join my Discord. You can find the link in the description. And that's going to be the video guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like always, make sure you smash that like button. And if you found the information helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content. And I will catch you guys later.